Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by CyberBacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at CyberBacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show right now. Jennie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome today. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking. And of course, for giving us your time. I know you're very, very busy. Now, to kick things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners just like you. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe starting off with, what is your role in the business, Jennie?
So I've been in the real estate industry for about 30 years. The last 4 years, I've been working with 𝗔𝗰𝗰𝗶𝗹, and I'm leading the team as a team lead. So I do primarily do listings, and I help grow the buyer's side. And I'm just really part of the transaction from the beginning to the end, trying to create a one-of-a-kind experience for our clients.
Okay, so a lot of experience, right? 30 years, is that right?
Yes.
Gosh, a lot of experience right there. Now, I'm also curious, how did you learn about CyberBacker? Did someone tell you about us or saw us on social media?
Well, actually, Matt Brown, who is one of our team leaders, we're with KW Synergy, which is combined 3 KW market centers. And we're here in Westerville, Ohio, which is a part of Central Ohio. And I was having some frustration with a virtual assistant I had that I'd had to let go. I've learned a lot through that experience. I learned my part in why it didn't work, my DNA about why it didn't work, and knew that I needed to look at virtual assistants for many reasons. We could talk a little bit about that later, but he highly recommended you. And then it was really great. I went to family reunion, and your founder was there talking. The Great Maps coach was out there. And I just really realized that I was really led to a positive environment that had Keller Williams culture and values. And so that's really why I'm experiencing a win-win right now.
Yes, anything KW, we got you covered here in CyberBacker, of course.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been partnered with CyberBacker, Jennie?
I would say we've been doing it for probably about 6 months. I can't believe it's been that long, but yes, we've been doing it about 6 months.
Okay, so half a year. Now, you did have experience with a previous virtual assistant. I'd like to know, is there a difference between CyberBacker and a typical virtual assistant?
Yes, I would say the biggest difference that I saw is your one thing is virtual assistants. I actually happen to have my virtual assistant was an add-on value to my CRM. And so that wasn't the one thing they were doing. So in their defense, I think they're trying to do their best, and a lot of people are having a great experience. The support you need in the virtual environment, a lot of people don't realize because we don't see each other every day, that virtual assistant needs a lot of support, and I need a lot of support. And there's a little bit, just like any job, it's not any different or any worse. It's just a different type of learning curve that you have to understand. And once you understand it, and once you have the right support, like I believe you guys give, because you consistently follow up with me and ask me how things are going, and you support Jode and you support us consistently and continually, it helps make the experience better and helps us all get through the learning curve that any new job has whenever you hire a new person.
Yes, of course. Again, it's new, not really different from someone you're hiring in the office. You still have to build on the partnership, like communication, things like that, right?
Right. And what's so hard about being a real estate agent is our one thing is to get business in.
Yes.
And so we're running around with our head cut off. I just came out of my team meeting. They actually said they're going to call me the squirrel hunter. That is I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I do get a lot done, even though I'm a squirrel hunter. And what happens when you do that, then you have somebody virtually supporting you, and they can't support you unless they really understand exactly what they're doing. And they can't really understand exactly what they're doing until I stop chasing squirrels enough to slow down and tell you what you need to be doing. So that's one of the challenges.
Yes, of course. Again, giving your time, letting them feel that they're part of something so that they understand what they are doing and why they're doing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, I'm also curious. Can you tell me something about your CyberBacker? Let's say personality-wise. Can you tell me something about it?
What I love best about Jode is that he really wants to make sure he's doing it right. So we all in Keller Williams love the personality analysis. We all want to know, not because we want to criticize each other, because we want to understand what point of view we're each coming from so we can create a better experience at work and then at the end for our clients. So he is a very detailed oriented person, and he oversees our transaction coordination, and he's really mastered that. And so we've added some of our lead opportunities. I'm having him do some skip tracing with that now so that I can call those clients. And so one thing I learned from my first virtual assistant was that I need to go slow, get small to get big, as Gary says. And so we got really small with Joe in the beginning, and we just did transactions. And now that we're confident that he understands that, and he's always going to be learning, because let's face it, every transaction is a little bit different. I've done 30 years of transactions. I've made a ton of mistakes. I know a ton of things. He's only been doing it for 6 months with me, so we're going to learn. But the biggest thing I love is that he really cares. Like, he will call me and make sure that he's doing it. Now, what's really funny is, from my perspective, I just look at him like he's so smart. He's so detailed. He's got my back. It's so great. But I realize that he can only know so much about my business, even though he's been exposed to a lot. And a lot of it has to do with where we're sitting in the world, what my world is every day culturally and what his world is every day culturally, that we can love and respect each other and understand that I really need to bring him a little bit more into my world so that he understands how it affects my clients, and that I know he really wants to please me. That's the other thing. I know he really, really wants to please me. And that was the same thing with my other virtual. He really appreciates the job. All of your people really appreciate. And so we all need to slow down and appreciate each other, even though this business is fast, and just take the time to raise our hand when we don't understand something, and to give people the grace that even though they don't understand it, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, help me help you understand it. I love him about that, because he really cares.
I agree with you there 100%. Even if, again, as what you mentioned, in real estate, everything is just so fast. In a snap of a finger, something could change. Something needs to be done. But again, you just have to take time, again, to make them understand that they are a part of this, so that they know why they're doing it, right?
Right. Yep.
Now, you already talked about a few of the things that he's currently doing. So I'm curious to know, what is your growth plan for Joe, your cyberbacker? What are some of the new things that you're planning to have him do in the future for the business? Let's say within the next 6 months, probably.
Well, I want to be realistic, because the transaction piece of it, our team does about 100 transactions a year. Right now in our market, listings are down 40%. So I need to get our numbers up right now, and I want them to even grow. So where he's going to grow is more transaction coordination, and he will be doing more of that each day. As he gets better at that, though, I do want to divide his time between supporting us through the CRM. And so that means going in and looking at leads and looking at maybe people that were most recently on the website, or helping us skip trace. I'm doing some Facebook marketing through the CRM, and also doing Google search optimization with home values. And so people only put in, maybe they get online and they put their address in, and then they see they have to give me their name and phone number, and they bug off. You know what I mean? So I'd like to add that for him, because again, that's detailed information that he would enjoy doing. But I really see his job, growing in the transaction piece. But the other thing I really see with Jode is I really want to keep him long-term. And so as we grow, I really want to find out more of who he wants to be. I eventually see us having another cyberbacker at some point. And so I want to give Jode the ability to kind of pick what he wants to do, so that I make sure that he really loves his job. I think he really does like what we're doing. So I think that this is a good fit, but in case he sees something else. So this job is going to expand. I'm sorry, I'm not being more specific with you, but what I really learned is that the transaction coordination piece, and I look at my personalities on my team right now, even my admin who's doing marketing, that is not, detailed stuff is not her best thing. It's not my best thing. It is Jode's best thing. So as long as Jode really likes to do that, I need to maximize what he's good at. And that's the transaction coordination.
I agree with you there. Again, maximizing the potential of your cyberbacks in something that they're really good at, and something that they really want to do. So again, taking advantage of his attention to detail. That's going to be good. Again, more responsibilities in the future. That's going to be exciting for him.
Yes.
Now, one last question for you, Jennie. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners. So, what piece of advice would you be able to give them when they're partnering with their very own cyberbacker?
So first, when you go to do the interviews, take some time to ask. Don't just do the questions that are, just typical questions. Decide what personality would fit well in your team and really take the time to ask some people some different questions. And I hope this is okay if I say this, but so I've been involved in mission work. I've been involved in student with a Rotary where young students come over from different countries and English is their second language. Okay. So when I'm dealing with a virtual cyberbacker, their English is their second language. And so most of the time, I think. So what I find out is that when I'm interviewing people, we need to really understand what our expectations are and that English is their second language. And we need to take the time to slow down to make sure that we're communicating about what expectations are so that we can create the best win-win when we go to hire somebody. So for me, I was really looking at detailed people that could eventually communicate directly with my clients, because if they're a transaction coordinator and I want them to do it all, that means that I need to have them feel comfortable about making phone calls. So I just think it's assessing what you really want from the position and making sure you take your time in the interview process to really take advantage of having conversations with people so that you understand who they are, so you create a better experience from the beginning. Then the other thing I would say is to really understand what you're doing, what you need your job for, and take it really slow. Because again, what happens is the cyberbacker, you guys have done a really good job, I've noticed, to make sure that people are qualified and they're knowledgeable, but not everybody really understands what we're doing. And we already know as real estate agents that the way I roll with my clients is totally different than the realtor that's sitting in the desk next to me. And this cyberbacker, if they're going to be a part of our culture and an extension of us, they need to really understand why we do what we do and what the heart is of why we do what we do so that they can do it in the same fashion. I have tried to put Jode on my team meetings virtually, but we got a lot of stuff going on in our team meetings virtually. So it's not really as rewarding for him to be on this virtual call because sometimes you can hear, sometimes you can't. So we're doing more one-on-one calls in the morning or during the middle of the day, so that we have that extra time to connect with him, so that we have a personality with him, like a personal relationship. What I did wrong with my first cyberbacker, I made all these expectations that she should know what I know because I had all this confidence in the hiring team. Like I have all this confidence that I just make all these assumptions that you guys know what I need, that you know how I roll. And I really left her alone to her own devices. And then we created some problems that I now really have to own. So when I first came to you, I didn't really even understand what I did wrong the first time. So interview slowly, ask questions, know who you are. And then when you bring them on, give yourself a good couple months to slowly engage with them about who you are and make them feel a part of it. And make them understand why you do what you do and who your customers are and who you are as a person and why you like to do what you do.
Terrific advice right there, because again, the match has to be important because you're going to be working with this person almost every day of the week. So finding that perfect fit and then also giving out the expectations that you want from them probably within the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? And within the partnership, because again, this is an investment that you would make because not just the money, of course, but also your time has to go into it to make sure that they are aligned with what you want to do and how you want things done, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, one last thing. I forgot to tell you that Jode is listening to us right now. Would you want to give him a quick shout out or any message you'd like to give out to him?
Hey, Jode, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. I'm looking forward to the next few years of growing you and growing us. So thanks.
We are very, very excited to see where this partnership would be in the next few months and, of course, the years to come. Jennie, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.